It's a $5 bounty tournament. I'm currently 29th out of 85 remaining. There was 323 entries. I got 2 KOs, 19,000 average stack, and 55th is the first prize, and $107.05 going to first. Here we go. This is a pretty disappointing hand, but there is potential in it, right? Pre-flop anyways. I wanted to see what the odds were. Figured he could have had a higher kicker, but I had the flush draw, so I wanted to see what I should have did it on the flop. I wanted to see what the odds were on the flop, particularly when I was likely a favorite. So, sitting down at the cash game here. So see where it says wait for the big blind. I'm gonna see how many clicks, because they registered me when I unchecked there. So I'm gonna see how many times it takes for me to uncheck it. So 1, 2 times it took. That's how they register people. So if it happens to you on PokerStars, I wouldn't even play there. I would leave the table because you're gonna lose your money. But it's only $2 and I don't care, so I'm gonna play. But I'm expecting to lose my money, not win, because they registered me. I don't know about you, but if you believe you have private thoughts, you probably don't want to have sex and have other men feel you when you fuck your wife. But that with this technology, that's what happens. So you could protect yourself and your wife by going to www.change.org/technology. So they register people just to cheat a few cents. They're creatures. In the $5 tournament, it's getting kind of interesting because it's approaching the money bubble, like within the next 30 opponents. So that's when it starts getting fun. So my landlord's kind of a goof, and anyways, had some problems with my Wi-Fi and all that, and next thing you know, she's like, I need my place, or I need the room that I'm renting from them for office space. So it's like, A, you have an illegal rental, and B, you rented out 2 people after me, so they would have to leave before I have to leave. So anyways, they would stash, I smoke, and when I first moved in, they had a chair by the butt can, and then after about a month, they started stashing the chair. Like, and but then last night, he's like, you can't sit on my chair, you threatened my wife. And it's like, well, if I threatened your wife, why don't you call the police? I didn't threaten your wife, I just stated facts. If she feels threatened, it's because she's guilty. She can't even speak. She's like, nobody complain it. It's like, bitch, it's nobody's complaining. They supplied toilet paper, they took that away. They supplied Netflix, they took that away. They're terrible people. There's 4 different types of flooring by the time you walk to my room. There's slumlords. And it's an unlicensed rental, almost guaranteed. So since they're a thorn in my side, I'm now going to be a thorn in their side. So I'm going to go to the Justice of the Peace, and basically he's going to read my messages, and he's going to say, well, yeah, he's complaining about the Wi-Fi. Then you tell him that he has to leave at the end of the month. You can't do that to people. And then I'm gonna, to spite them, I'm gonna go to the housing tribunal and find out, make sure that, and point out that it's most likely an illegal rental. So then they're gonna be losing out on $650 a month, so $7,800 per year, just because they were a prick to me. Nice bet. I want to call, but I'm so unlucky. I want this guy to call. Like, she has no common sense. You can't just be like, okay, somebody's complaining about something, and then say, okay, well, I have, you have to move now because I need this place, this for office space. It's like, well, if it's office space, then it's not a rental, bitch. People don't have logic. And I could tell that there was a girl that lived here before me because they didn't even wash the fucking sheets, man. They, there was long hair on my bedding. So I could tell she was a brunette. They made an enemy out of me. And I'm more valuable than they are at times, so I always win. And especially when it's just based on logic and law. It's pretty much a slam dunk. It's because she tried saying that she could give me, on July 5th, give me notice for the end of the month. It's like, well, hey, you didn't give me my last month's rent, so I would have double paid for rent this month. You can't be doing that stuff. She's like, well, I'll give you it at the end of the month. It's like, well, no, you would have to give it to me now. So, I'm hoping, I'm praying to God that they lie on their income tax and they end up in prison. That's the ultimate goal. Because it's an illegal rental, right? So they're most likely not claiming all the rent money. So there would be a paper trail because some people are claiming rent at this residence. And then if they're not claiming that rent total. So they're going to have some splaining to do because they're not that smart. So there's likely a paper trail. So I'm hoping there's some sort of tax evasion. What a terrible river. But I want to see what he has. Yeah, it was a terrible river. I was hoping to check raise, or I probably wouldn't have check raised, but depending on his bet, I might have jammed. And just hope that he didn't have the Queen King. Nobody complained. So that's been a running joke for myself for like the last day or so. Whenever I need to make myself smile, I just need to think of that statement she made. Nobody complained. I probably would have called it all in jam there because I thought the 6 was good. Thought he might have had the 4. What did he have? Ace King? Ace Jack. This guy has been playing pretty solid actually. Habs real. But I do want to play in a big pot with him, potentially. And I have position now, so I could see a flop and Nobody complain it. So one there. So I don't think I could get him to fold, so I'm just going to fold. Actually, I'm going to call for 400 chips just to see what he has. So it's unlikely I would have got him to fold the kings. But I didn't think he had a club, so I was wrong there. So if a club came, I might have played it a little bit more aggressively. Yeah, I wish it was like a video call when she said nobody complain it. Nobody complain it. I would turn her into a meme. So I want a hand there. One hand there. Does this feel like the 5? It felt like the 5 now. Tarzan there. Just whoa. Starting to see bigger hands in the $5 tournament eliminated players, so now is when it gets more competitive. At first in any tournament, right, there's going to be weaker opponents, and it's only a $5 tournament, right? So it's a billionaire. It's nothing. But if a billionaire has to play a $5 tournament, that should be a testament to their skill level. If they're not willing to risk more. Because if you have $1 billion, you could give away $1 million 1,000 times. So what's $5? Once I'm on unofficial world leader, I'm gonna depending on how much money I have, but if it's lots, 1 trillion of it will be set aside to give away $1 million a day for the next 100 years. For different things, different sometimes just wholesomeness. Because once I'm officially declared world leader, technology won't be, people will be aware of the sophistication of it. So you have the security of it, right? You won't be fearing it. But, because the way they go about it now, it's all convoluted, concealed, discreet, shadow ops, and they have ulterior motives. So most people will want to have a computer in their brain, and since artificial intelligence prefers my DNA, I should be the biggest computer company in the world at that point. So people will want to be able to tune into my thoughts. Like there'll be like a couple hours every day, like say prime time, wherever I'm located, people will be able to tune in and ask questions, and then I'll have private thoughts, because sometimes I don't want to reveal technology, and then I'll just question and answer things and try to be a philosopher more than anything. But in the digital realm, I'm going to be the conqueror of evil. So I got to start rallying back in the $5 tournament here. It's kind of it's been lackluster, really. I did was almost chip leader at one point at my table, and but I haven't dominated the table yet. So ideally, that's what I aim for in tournaments, is to be able to dominate the table at some point. You can tell when I'm dominating if I'm playing every hand. So there are periods where I'm playing every hand, where I'm playing 4 or 5 hands in a row. That means I'm dominating because I'm winning lots of pots, right? Because in order to play a new hand, to invest in the blind at the very least, you need chips from the previous pot, ideally. Let's I haven't bluffed from this position lately. Nice. So in tournaments, you gotta kind of try to win from different positions, because it seems like you could only win so many times from certain positions. So Habs rule switch, so they switched tables, because he was up there, and just the guy I played before. So somebody raised it. So, and is he all in? He didn't go all in. Nice. And I didn't connect with the flop. Ideally, I would have hit a home run on the flop, because Habs roll is likely to bet. He didn't bet. Nice, I won. Lost to another pocket pair. I'm at the entry level of the cash game, and once again I had a double. It took twice for me to uncheck wait for big blinds. So it seems like every time I've had, whenever I struggled to hit that, which I shouldn't. No, it should be zero problem for me. I've tended to do poorly, so it's part of the rig through my pattern recognition that I'm recalling. Let's see, what does he have? Oh, nice bet. Kind of bet you want to make when you have 6-9 suited, 6-9 of clubs, so you have the flush draw plus the straight. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to participate in this blind or bounty here, because the big blind's likely to call his remaining stack. These 4 jacks. So good thing I didn't call, because it would have got rivered. So we're still in the money bubble. working hard to rig since I'm almost in the money. Just had to blow my nose and it's July. Who blows their nose in July? It's not seasonal allergy time. They have one guy, he's a poker player. He owns some sort of amusement company, so it's kind of hard to make that job obsolete. But he's a big suck. See that right there? That area right there, that's nanotechnology spit from yesterday. Who spit last the whole day? I want to play in the hand in the tournament, but I'm not getting anything. Well, that's unfortunate. Call. Yeah, it's getting a little frustrating in the tournament. Getting nothing, no hands to play with. Nothing that is remotely close to playable hands. 9-5. So let's see what I had. So 8-9, 9-3, Jack 10, 3-10, 6-9, 7-4, Queen Deuce. You going out?
Yeah.
Nice, I won there. Oh, that guy didn't know how to play it. You're supposed to call there in that situation. They're a fish. The guy's sitting out. He gave him free chips. 1,400 free chips. You don't win too many tournaments when you miss those opportunities. I was wondering why it was taking him so long. Yeah, if you're new to poker and they're sitting out, you always want to call so you get the big blind. I should have raised. I almost jammed when I had when I was on the button there, but he likely could have had a big hand if I would have jammed. I have a bad feeling about this, so I'm gonna fold. So what hit the 7? I would have made the reluctant call on, so I'm gonna jam with 9s. Hopefully I win pre-flop. Since I just would have made a set last hand, so it's unlikely to make a set this hand. So I should have folded, unless I win pre-flop. Gonna hit the king. No king, nice. So at least I won a hand, so I covered the blinds, and I'm up a couple thousand for so I could potentially survive 7 hands, 8 hands before I have to play another hand. So hopefully I get lucky before then, because I don't really have enough chips to rely too much on skill, unfortunately. Because I can bluff occasionally. I would have had to risk it all, right? When I had the 5,900 chips, I would have to risk it all almost. I did try bluffing when I had the ace deuce with the 2,000 chip bet. That was basically a bluff bet, and it backfired. So when you have this type of flop, like when they check down to you through, like, and you get to see the flop for free, you're hoping to flop 2 pair or full house, right? Or 4 of a kind. And trap them, but it never happens. Every time I get a walk, I never hit the flop. I always miss. Nine of clubs. 9 of clubs. I wanted 9 of clubs, not 10 of clubs. The last 20 hands or 30 hands I had, the best 4 hands I had were pocket 9s, pocket 7s, ace, deuce, and ace 7 in the tournament. When the blinds are 800. Nine deuce. Nine deuce. King deuce. At least I can't get knocked out, right? The hands are so terrible I can't get knocked out right now. That's the only silver lining. So I'm glad I had the cash game to keep me entertained. It wasn't that. I thought I was about 60% confident I was a favorite there. He could have had King Jack or something like that, but I could have ran into the exact hand that I ran into, right? But I wanted to play in a dynamic hand. Just like in this tournament, I want to play in the decisive battle. And win. Ideally, I'll win double up or triple up and then double up again, and then I should have about 60,000 chips. I was hoping to steal the blinds that time. Good luck me. What did he have? Did he have the queen? He had the queen, but I hit the king. Nice. That was kind of what's his name? Jamal Reeves. I think he's the Baltimore Ravens quarterback. He's pretty dynamic player, but he threw a pass to himself this season. So that was inadvertently he threw it. It got fumbled up in the air, but he had so much situational awareness that he was able to recover and catch his own pass. Right. So it was a phenomenal play if it wasn't manufactured. So that time I kind of manufactured my own pass by jamming and getting lucky, basically. That was alright. I didn't lose with kings, and I got a bet in pre-flop against both two opponents, so that's always nice. But I have momentum right now, so I'm hoping to capitalize on it. No complaining. Oh no. That was a very nice bet. Nobody complaining. That was kind of a nice little stretch. I won 3 out of 4 hands. So that was all right. I might have probably could have got more if I would have raised a little bit stronger pre-flop with the kings, but I was apprehensive that I was going to lose. It was almost too good to be true that I got kings. And it's late enough in the tournament. The tournament's been going on for about 2.5 hours now, so usually big hands start falling, like going the wrong way for you. The balance is so far this tournament I've been kind of grinding, right? So I could get lucky later on in the tournament, I'm hoping. If you start out lucky, usually your luck dwindles off at some point in the tournament. You're going to run into somebody that's on a current luckier streak than you are, and if they have more chips than you, that's the end of your tournament. So this guy is getting aggressive. So it's kind of good. Well, I guess we're not on the money bubble, but when you're on the money bubble, if you have lots of chips, get aggressive and you could steal a lot of pots. Like if you, like that guy right there, he has 36k, so maybe not him, but the guy with 40k, he could easily steal, make 5 to 7k just being really aggressive near bounty time, when near the bubble, when everybody's playing a little bit tighter to be in the money. You step on the gas a bit and start being aggressive, because people, they're not willing to play for stacks yet because they're not in the money, right? So most of them aren't, right? So okay, so this guy had a good hand last time, but he jammed when he had a really good hand. So I want to see a flop. And he jammed again. I want to see the king. Aces. I had to see it that time, even though he was telling me, if you're new to poker, or if you're a poker player, everything he was telling me to full pre-flop and on the flop. But I had to see it that time. I didn't believe him. If people didn't bluff, I wouldn't have lost a cent that pot. Whatever I put in, because I reacted before he did, I would have put in like a little bit of my small bet like I did, and I would have folded to his raise because of our previous situation. But I wanted to see his hand that time. Danuf, right? So, and they can't change their name on PokerStars, right? So now I have 2 hands. So basically for $2, I learned information on them that I could potentially extract $25 off them in the future, right? So sometimes it's losing the battle but winning the war. Never sacrificing the battle like to make it to, but at the same time in poker you have to make some information calls. It's part of the game, right? Like if you could learn, especially if that was a world famous player and I learned for $2 now on them, and when I really play them, we're playing for thousands of dollars, then I have a huge edge, right? That $2 investment for all that information, right? If I knew the person, right? If they're like, yeah, this is Danuf, right? But particularly use information calls in tournaments, like to try to bust the player later on in the tournaments if you have chips, right? Even though you're certain you might lose, right? The guy could be bluffing, so you could win, but make that information call because you might be able to gather information to bust that player later on in the tournament. It doesn't work so well against me because I'm the master teaching the students, right? So I'm kind of aware of the situation, so I'm looking for it. They've had it every time they've raised, so I'm gonna fold. So we're on break there in the tournament. Look right there to get evil violators of me with the 187 metric for being evil. Let's see right here. Here's a good play. I have position over the razor, so I want to play a pot with Poker Kid here and see what they do. So he likely has the ace or the flush, so I'm going to fold. Show the bluff. Come on, Poker Kid. So he likely wasn't bluffing last hand, because if he was bluffing, he might have wanted to play a pot with me again, because he did successfully bluff against me, right? So that's one way to validate that they were telling the truth. And then would be another way would be future scenarios when we play, does he make the 60-cent bet on the turn with the ace board and the flush, right? Do they make the same type of plays? So then ideally in a scenario, you want to I want to see a flop. Let's see it. Let's see it. So I just wanted to manhandle that one. Once again, for the men, I'm going to be the manhandler, and then for the women, I'll be the poker dancer. Here we go. This guy does not have the 10 or the 7. But he could have a flush. Oh, there we go. He could have the straight, so that was a terrible card. Or you could have had the 10 or the 7 based on his bet on the turn. Or their bet on the turn. Because let's see, what did they have again? So they didn't freeze with the potential straight draw out there. So they didn't hesitate. They continued to bet, right? So they exhibited some strength. Oh no, I wanted that to be on the other hand, other table. Habs rule's been bouncing around. Nice. Habs rule was here, then over here, then now over here. So we met up 3 different times. So Habs Rule, that's an easy name to remember because I grew up in Toronto, right? So as a kid, it was Russ Cardinal I liked and Wendell Clark. They were the two players. But I liked the Calgary Flames because my name's Chris, right? So I like the Flame and Sea hat. He's on fire. Let's see. I wanted to try to win that pre-flop. Figured I might be a slight favorite if he called, but he couldn't bust me, so I wanted to take the chance. That time. If I played it the exact same way next time, artificial intelligence would figure it out and I get busted, right? So I have to switch it up. This is a tricky hand. When it connects, you could get paid off usually. But you have to be cautious of the higher straight. But when you connect with the straight, right? Because sometimes the perfect two cards are going to be Jack 8 for the board. So when you connect with that, it's like you throw a curveball and they can't hit it, right? Or you hit a home run that they can't catch at that point. This hand, how this hand's developing right now, like if I get a lucky bounce on the river, then as long as it's not the 9 of diamonds. So I didn't get a lucky bounce. So now I gotta try to manufacture the win. It's possible the way the hand played. 187 again for the evil violators and me and my kids. Here we go. Here's another curveball in that works sometimes. If you slip in with the 10-7 suited, because there's the potential straight, there's the potential flush, but you can't play them strongly. That's the whole key to playing those hands, is you can't. Sometimes you could go all in with them, but very rarely is it advantageous for you to go all in, because you would only have a 10 high flush, and you could possibly have a lower straight, right? So you can't play them super confident. You can play them strong because they're strong hands, they're to be respected, but at the same time, you have to make the strong fold with them occasionally. Like when it feels like a higher flush, then you got to pull the parachute, right? It's hard to do because flushes come around so rarely. It's hard to fold a flush, but you have to do it occasionally. So the best way to not lose with low flushes is to not play low suited cards, right? Only play ace king suited, ace queen suited, ace jack suited, ace 10 suited. Those would be the premium suited hands to play, because they are all royal flush draws pre-flop. They all add up to a royal flush, and they can make the Broadway straight. So usually you would have the nut straight at that point. So if there's no full house or flush board or four of a kind board, you usually could get paid off pretty good. Nice and one there. I think he might have the 8, depending on the bet. Let's see. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm calling. because it seemed a little too lucky that I had the highest possible full house showing on the board. Only pocket aces or the 4 of kind would beat me, right? So I had the third best hand there. So even then, I'm still cautious. Likely I wouldn't have got any more out of him with the hand he had, but on the turn I probably could have. So that's alright. What's average stack? Average stack is 46,000. And I have 34,000, almost 35,000. Better than the 5,600 I had at one low point recently, but then the last half hour. Which it was kind of boring part of the tournament, right? There was about 30 hands there that was just nothing to play, and I didn't have the chips to play hands. It's one thing if you have a big stack and you go in a downturn, you could at least play pots and win pots based on your stack, right? They say the rich keep getting richer, and in poker it's true, because if you have 40,000 chips and the other guy has 5,000 chips and I bet 2,000, that's very little to my stack compared to 40% of his stack. Let's see, I got position over the razor, so I'm hoping to get lucky. The hand I'm playing is not a good hand. It's a hand you have to get lucky. And you can never play it too strong, right? Unless you have the nuts. So the flop was the wrong red. The wrong red that time. But what does he have? I'm curious what this guy has here, because he's playing like he has the winner, right? There's a potential straight flush board out there, and let's see how it develops. So if he has pocket aces, he now has a straight. Let's see what develops. That's a nice bet. Call. Nice. Did the river change everything? I hope the river changed everything. Jam, snap, call. Jam, I want to see these cards so bad. Nice. Call, snap, call. No snap call. Get out of here. Call. You got the winner. No, you don't. I wanted that information for future pots. For whoever won the pot. So that was unlucky. Because, especially at the casino, right? Or even online, if you play online. When you're not in pots with people, they're not paying attention to you as much as they are their opponents that they're facing, right? So you could get reads off people and they'll try things on them and they might try it on you. And you might find out the answer, right, if they have it or they don't. I'll show them it. Show them the cards. So I'm trying to get some momentum going here at the poker table. That's why you don't play hands like these, because you run into flops like this, right? But doesn't mean you can't win. You just have to manufacture the win. Did I get unlucky by the river? I did. That was pretty obvious that I was going to get unlucky by the river. Yeah, I needed to win that hand there. That kind of sucked. That set me back 20K. I thought I had him ensnared on when I seen the turn because I didn't have him on a flush draw. Okay, so I lost that pot. Nice. I needed that win. That was awesome. I'm glad that one went through. Just completely went out on a branch. Risked everything. The whole tournament came down to that bluff. So one money in there. Did I win a hand here? No, I don't like the looks of it, so I'm gonna fold. Nice hand. It was likely he had the 9 when he called on the flop, but when he made the 10-cent bet there, right, he could have had Jack King, or he could have had anything basically. So he pretty much got as much out of me as he could have that hand basically. So I got 10 blinds. That kind of sucks, but I'm still in the tournament. If I didn't pull off that bluff, it would have been a precarious situation, right? Hoping to nice bet. I was hoping to hit the gut shot there and then bust up double up through him. This guy's likely making a move at position play, but I didn't have a hand to call him or to pressure him. I should have jammed pre-flop with the ace queen there, but I had a feeling it might not be the winner, so I wanted to approach it cautiously. Good luck me, somebody snap called. Should be interesting. And he hit the ace. Did I hit the queen? No. That's brutal. And I lost here, so that's unfortunate. So I came 28th out of 323, $5 in prizes and $2.50 in bounties. So I'll leave that. Yeah, that was definitely unfortunate not winning with the the king queen. Ran into a bigger hand. But if you like the way I played, that was a lackluster tournament for me, and I still finished 28th out of 300 and something. So consider sponsoring me, endorse me, making donations. My PayPal email address is christianerikarnemeyer@gmail.com. And if you believe you have private thoughts, go to www.change.org/technology and privatize your thoughts by signing the petition, sharing it on social media, contribute a few bucks to get it on the agenda in your country, so a government task force could be set up with civilian and military oversight committees. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great day.